So, feet hip width apart, toes pointing forward, and if you lift and separate your toes, don't worry if you don't feel too skilled at this, this is something that you can practice and get a little bit better at, and then push down gently through all of your toes. Think about pushing down through your big toes. If you push down through your big toes and draw up through your arch, that gives you a really good stable base. Just make sure you're not gripping and squeezing through your toes too much. Bend your knees slightly, tuck your bottom under. Try to use these muscles at the front to lift and tuck your bottom under. So one way of doing it is to squeeze your bum to tuck under, but that isn't something you can hold for any length of time. So use your lower tummy to tuck under like so. Drop your ribs down. Some people stand with their ribs flared out like this. Drop and sink your ribs down. Broaden and open out through the front of your chest. Think about a big diamond on the front of your chest, or a big medallion for the men. Clearly that's very up to date, but if you think about something on the front of your chest that you're wanting to show off and open out, tuck the chin and lengthen up through the back of the neck. Tuck and lengthen up through the back of the neck, and then I just want the palms facing up. So we're squeezed in through here, and I want you pushing forwards, opening out, forwards again, and in. So there's going to be all sorts of tight arms going on there, I'm sure. Push forwards, out, front, and in. Fantastic. Front, wide, together, and in. And I even want you to concentrate on when you bring the arms back, you pull the elbows into your sides. Front, wide, together, pull the elbows in. Front, wide, together, in. Good. It's nice to have a few of you on the videos because then I can see that people are actually managing to copy the stuff that I'm doing. Good. So if your internet isn't good enough or I'm cutting in and out, then what we can do, like I say, I'm filming it at the moment, so I can send it out to you later. You can do it in your own time. Cool. Last one. Good. Palms down by your sides, palms facing forwards, and we're doing a big circle. I'm going to just move back a little bit and then down again. So trying to get as wide and as long with your arms as you can. Stretch round and back down. The whole time you're tucked under with your bottom. Good. Try and draw as big a circle as you can with your arms. Nice. 2 more. And last one. Cool. Turning sideways. Oh, well, that's me turning sideways. Sorry, I'm just talking through what I'm doing. You don't have to turn sideways. Tuck your bottom under and then stick your bottom out. So tuck and scoop under and stick your bottom out. Good. Curl and back. One thing to do is to actually have your video on. I know it can be a little bit daunting if you're maybe even still in your pajamas, but if you can see yourself doing the movements, then you can correct yourself, you can see what you're doing, you can hear the things that I'm trying to explain to you and try and do it yourself. It's almost like having a mirror in front of you. So that's the benefit of having your video on, maybe. Good. I just happened to say that one when we're doing a really silly exercise with the pelvic tilts. Good. 2 more. Nice. So, feet still hip width apart, arms down by your sides, palms facing in this time. We're squatting down and bringing your arms up to the front. Don't worry about how low that squat is. Look, I'm not interested in you doing a full squat. I'm more interested in the control and what you're focusing on during the exercise. So squeeze your bum, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your thighs. Squat down, squeeze your glutes and your thighs. As you come up, I want you to broaden through the chest as well. Squat down, broaden out through the chest. Brilliant. Squeeze in through your tummy as you come down as well. Don't just collapse forwards into the squat. Squeeze and lift through here. Brilliant. In this position, stay there, up and down with the arms. This is hard. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just doing another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, 5, brilliant. Come back up again, give your legs a little shake. So it's quite surprising, we're not lifting any weights here, but it's quite surprising how we can get that nice burn through the thighs. Good, stepping wide here. So a little bit wider than you want to go. Up tall, tuck your bottom under, chest open, all these same corrections. Tuck the chin, lengthen up through the back of the neck, hands on your hips, squat down and back up. So what we're doing is really broadening out, opening out through the fronts of the hips. Good. So a common mistake with this one is to roll forwards on the feet. Roll forwards on the feet and the knees come in. So try and keep your arches lifted and your knees pointing out. Bottom tucked under. Tailbone going straight down towards the floor. Using this to tuck your bottom under. Good. Stay at the bottom. Put your hands on the backs of your thighs, and I want you to pulse both knees back. So just like we were just talking about, not letting those knees drop in and the feet roll in. This is a nice way of showing you where you don't want to be and where you want to aim for. And having your hands on the back of your thighs just helps you to guide that. Stay there. I know everything's burning and working, but that's what we want, right? That's why we're here. Rotate now. Palms together at the front. Rotate. Back to the front. Rotate. Good. Staying strong through your legs. The only movement is up through the chest. That's what Pilates is all about. Keeping everything strong and just moving through one part of the body. Cool. One more each side. Good. Hands back on your hips, straighten your knees, toes in, heels in, toes back in. Good. Give your legs a little shake again. We are stretching up with that right arm, down with the left, bend your knees, and then really sort of shift the body. You're pushing up with that right arm as high as you can and pushing down with the left arm as far as you can. Good, scooping in through here. Round in a circle. Hands together. To the front. And curl up. Good. Other arm up, one down. Just do that shift to the side. So it's not a side bend. Keep checking my watch just in case it's somebody telling me that things are not broadcasting. Round. Hands together. To the front. And curl back up. Roll the shoulders. So everybody's going to be getting tight in the shoulders. With all of this working from home business, the chair and desk probably aren't set up quite as well as you would like them to be. I do have a chair and desk set up on my YouTube, by the way, just where I sit and talk you through how you can get it as good as it could be. So that's on my YouTube channel, which is just Kinsara, of course. Cool. Right hand on the side of your head. Take your head over to the side. Left hand pushing down. Feel what difference that makes. It's crazy, actually. If you just allow it to come up a little bit, it takes the pressure off completely. You push down, take the head over. Good. Nice. Stay there just a little bit longer. And then to the other side, stretching down with your right, pulling your head over with your left. You've got to keep your eye line forwards though. Don't let your chin tuck down or look up to the ceiling. Keep your eye line forwards. Good. Nice. I'm trying to think if there's any other standing ones I particularly... Oh yes. So this one, to the side. So we start off in that wide stance. We rotate round. Up on the back toe. So look at my back ankle there. My heels are up off the floor. Everything's pointing forwards. And the back knee heads straight down onto the floor. The temptation on this one is to lunge forwards. Another temptation is to put the heel down as you come back up again. So those two things I want you to watch. Everything pointing forwards, back knee down to the floor and pull up tall. Squeeze through the whole of this back leg to pull yourself up tall. 3, 4, tummy strong. 6, keeping everything up tall. 7, 8, straighten the knees fully as you come up. 9, 10. Good. Come round to the other side. Remember, up tall on that back toe. Heel stays off the floor. Everything pointing forwards. Drop your shoulders, hands on your hips. Back knee heading straight down to the floor. Don't worry if you can't get it down. I'm happy with you doing this. Squeezing, doing everything strongly. Good. 4, 5, pull up through that back leg. 6, 7, keep the shoulders down. 8, 9, 10. Brilliant. All right. Give your legs a little shake. Then we're going to stand on the end of the mat. Toes forwards, feet hip width apart. And I want you to tuck the chin and peel down one vertebra at a time. All the way to the bottom. And then hang there. Let your arms go heavy, let your head go heavy. This is a great opportunity for the whole of this top half just to let go. Let go of the tension. Bend and straighten alternate knees. Pushing the knee back. Feeling the stretch down through the backs of the legs. Don't worry if the stretch comes down into your calves even. That is just fine. Good. We're curling up halfway. Hands on your knees and then arch your back the other way. Drop with the shoulders and arch your back the other way. Really push into it. Curl up. And then go again. Good. So we just curl the back the other way. Hands stay on the knees. And then back again. Cool. Allow yourself to come down again. Now, we're going to walk the hands forwards onto your hands and knees. So we had someone with sore wrists last week. You can come onto the fists if you want. Another thing you can do is just step your hands forwards like that, and then the weight isn't going straight down through the wrists. You can do, you know, like a gorilla kind of stance, if that's right, I don't know. But anyway, and another thing you can do is be on the elbows, like that. So if, you know, the exercises that we're doing can be done on the elbows as well. So make your choice there. With your right leg, stretch it out, lift it up. You see how my right hip's a little bit too high? Drop it down in line. Circle outwards or inwards. I can never quite work out whether that's out or in. 4, 5, keeping this strong. 7, 8, 9, 10. Circle the other way. 1, 2. Keep the knee strong. Keep breathing. Keep that leg up. 1. Bending the knee. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Straighten all the way. 7. Strong through the arms. 8, 9, 10. Amazing. That is a really hard series. So sit back onto your heels. Quite nice and efficient though. You get the whole of the work through that leg. Come back up onto your hands and knees. Knees hip width apart, feet hip width apart. Protect those wrists, do whatever you need to do with them. Stretch out the other leg. You know which one it is because it's the one that doesn't feel the pain like the one you've just done. Lift, drop the hip, keep the knee straight, circling out. 3, keep your tummy strong. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, circling the other way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep it there. Bend and straighten. 1, 2, 3. Strong through the shoulders. 4, 5. Straighten the leg all the way. 8, 9, 10. Brilliant. Come down. Sit back on your heels. That'll stretch out through your glutes a little bit. And I quite like this exercise where we just come up, back into the heels again. Up to hands and knees, back into the heels. Because this, for me, it's a good rest position, but it doesn't stretch enormous amounts. So by coming up and back down into it, I just find myself stretching a little bit better into it. Having said that, we are going to stay there now, and we're going to walk the hands over to the left. Now, if you get your right hand on top of your left hand and then sink back to the right a little bit, you can stretch that through. Good. Walk your hands over to the other side. Left on top of right and sink to the side. Good stuff. Walk to the front. Up onto your hands and knees again. And then we're going to stretch the right arm up and rotate. Back of the hand through. Bend the elbow and stretch and push through. Good. 2. Back of the hand through. And again. So we're doing 3 on each side. It's a good one to breathe with. I should have said it on that side. So plant that hand down. We're back onto hands and knees. Breathe in as you stretch up and round. Breathe out as you push through. And the same again. Breathe in as you stretch up and round. Breathe out as you stretch through. Good. Last one. Breathe in. Breathe out as you push through. Good. All right, we're going to turn over into sitting now. Could actually bring that a little bit closer. So let's have a little bit more of a close-up here. I just bring it down to the floor, then you can see everything that I'm doing. So, sitting. I can check I'm doing it right myself as well. Sitting, pulling up tall. Knees are bent, about 45 degrees if you can see. So you're not up like that and you're not straight, about 45. Toes pointing up tall on the sitting bones. So you should really feel that you're sitting tall through the sitting bones and your arms are out in front. Drop your shoulders down, tuck your chin and lengthen up through the back of the neck. And we're tucking under. You see my lower spine is tucking under and curling in this direction. And then you pull up tall again. So you roll back off the sitting bones. And then you pull yourself back up tall. Now don't worry if you get some funny clicks and clunks as you curl back, especially as you come back up tall again. But what I want you to really think about doing is scooping in the tummy, hollowing the tummy and coming up tall. Turning the spine into a C shape and then pulling up tall. So all of those things you can think about. But you're not coming forwards. So it's not like row, row, row boat. It's pulling up tall. Good. Now, one way of getting ourselves up tall on this exercise is pulling the arms up above the head like that. So curling back, pulling the arms up. Nice, curl back and pull up tall with the arms. Nice. It starts to get a bit tiring around the lower back and the tummy. That's what it's all about, right? It's what we're here to do. Good. 2 more. Brilliant. Straighten out your legs in front and come forwards. It's quite nice to alternate the feet like that, allowing yourself to come forward. Good. Okay, pulling up tall again. Arms out in front. So your legs are straight this time. Pin them and zip them together. Curl your way back. Scoop in the tummy. Rotate. Open out. Hopefully you're all still with me. and then bend and straighten the arms. Next week, I'm thinking about giving you all a message to grab a couple of tins of beans, so you can do all these exercises with some tins of beans. So that's what we're probably going to do next week. I could get you to run off and get them now, but to be honest, let's keep it simple this week and get the beans next week. It doesn't have to be beans, of course, as long as it's not tuna. Tuna tins are too small. Come in, rotate to the other side, and continue. Bend and straighten. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. Nice. Come forwards again. So I tend to stretch off after the abdominal exercises by coming forwards. You'd think you would want to stretch and open out, but these muscles we want to shorten and tighten. So I tend to stretch by coming forwards and just letting them relax in between. Cool. So onto your sides, but just onto the elbow here. You can be flat. If shoulders bug you or bother you at all, you can be flat. So if you push up on the elbow, if you are choosing this position, and push up out through it. I'm going to keep reminding you, because as time goes on, you're going to want to collapse into it. So push up out of it. All of this is really strong. The point of contact on the floor are your hip and your elbow, and then of course through the legs. I do want you to make sure that that top hip doesn't point upwards like that. Make sure that it's rocked forwards and your bottom is scooped under. So tighten in here and scoop your bottom under. And then we're just lifting that top knee. See how I had to do that extra little shift to get myself in position. Good. Keeping up tall. Squeeze in your tummy. Smile. It's Friday. This class is probably the only thing that's telling you it's Friday, to be honest. The days are so the same. Good. So you should be feeling it in here, not so much in the front of the hip and not down the leg. You can have a general tired feeling down the leg, but I don't want you feeling the work through that part. Feet up to hip height. So feet as high as your hips and then lifting that knee. So you have sank down into that shoulder. Make sure you push up and out of it. Well done. Bottom leg down. Top leg, big movements forwards and backwards. So the knee comes right up and the leg comes right out to the back. Right up, right back. Cool. Nice. But what you've got to do on these ones is keep this bit as strong as you possibly can. You're not wanting to, follow it with the body. Good stuff. Stretch out with the leg and pulse up and down. Squeezing in your tummy. Notice my foot is flexed, not pointed. Good. And now 5 big ones. I can hardly do them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fantastic. Good bum work. So other side. Up on that elbow. Or flat. I don't mind if you've got any shoulder problems and you can't come up onto the elbow, then no worries. But push up out of it if you are. Tuck that bottom hip back. Scoop and tuck under with your bottom. Good. And then open that top knee. Good. Keep working through your abs. Brilliant. Your feet stay together and they stay fairly relaxed. One mistake I sometimes make is I pull up onto my toes there. So keep your feet fairly relaxed and keep your breathing. You're even working your abdominals on this one. Now bring those feet up. You really feel like you're wound up through your body there as you bring the feet up, but push yourself up out of the shoulder. Good. They're hard, these ones. We do high numbers, and it really makes this area burn here. You probably feel it tomorrow. But great if you're sitting all the time to keep your glutes alive. They tend to go to sleep if you're doing too much sitting. Bottom leg down, top leg forwards and backwards. Keep this bit strong. Keep your foot and ankle strong as well. I do usually try to make sure that even the foot and ankle are working with Pilates. You think about the whole body, from your toes to your fingertips. Sounds a bit cliche, doesn't it? Stretch out, pull your toes up, pulse the leg up and down. Big up and down, 1, 2, sorry, I just had to give myself a little boost there. Oh, amazing. Sit back up. Good, I've made so many commitments to online classes these last few weeks that my body's starting to feel it. I'm trying quite a lot anyway, but so this should be stretching exactly where we've just worked, around there. If you cross your legs and lean forwards into it, and I just get in the habit of swinging from side to side there, I think it does tend to increase that stretch around your hips. Good. All right, so onto your backs. I'm just going to have a quick drink. Onto your backs. Feet, that was a bit too quick. Feet hip width apart. Knees hip width apart. Tuck through the chin. So all of this Pilates positioning is really important. Tuck through the chin, lengthen up through the back of the neck. Same as we did in standing. Broaden out through the front of your chest. Pull your shoulders down away from your ears. Hands on the front of your ribs. Take a breath in, allow your ribs to lift. Breathe out and let them sink down towards the mat at the back. So with your chest open, your ribs down, your chin tucked, now come down to the pelvis. And then we're just going to rock by tucking the bottom under and sticking out. So all of this rocking is coming from this section of the body, not from here. We've just set the ribs, we've got them down. We're moving through the pelvis now. Good. Cool. Settle in between. Now the in between means you've got this nice sort of flatness here. If you're too arched, it will do this. If you're too tucked under, it will do this. So you want to feel like you've got this kind of flatness at the front. When I was being taught, I remember they talked about a clock face on the front and a marble on top. And you rolled that marble, you know, to the 12 and to the 6, and then you settled it in the middle of that. So that's another sort of analogy or a visual cue that you can use. Visual? Anyway, imaginatory. Think about lifting and squeezing through your pelvic floor, pulling your hip bones together at the front here. So that's the deep, tight tension that you're trying to get inside with a relaxation of the outer muscles. Once we've got that going on, lift and lower alternate legs. I just need to remind my son about a Zoom meeting. It's his friend's birthday in his class. So bear with me 1 second while you lift and lower alternate legs. Harry, have you got the iPad to do Zoom? Cool. No rest. For all the mums out there and parents. Good. So we're just lifting and lowering. Good. Nice and controlled. So the idea of this one is to control through the hips. Your fingertips on the front of the hips there. If you're wondering whether you're doing it right, whether you've got your back in the right position, whether you've got your pelvic floor switched on and your deep abdominal switched on, firstly, I don't want you to stress too much about it. If your hips are staying stable as you're lifting and lowering each leg, if your back feels fairly relaxed and you're not got any pain in it, then you're doing it right as well. And if your tummy isn't pushing outwards like this as you're doing the exercise, then you're doing it right. So just relax with it. And as long as the hips are staying stable and you can still breathe at the same time, you're doing it right. So if you now lower one knee out and come back up, and then the other knee to the side, and come back up. Good. Remind yourself that that pelvic floor needs to still work. Remind yourself that you're still keeping the corset switched on. Good. You roll onto the outside of the foot, so be aware of my foot and what that's doing. You roll onto the outside of the foot. Good. Brilliant. Okay, right leg to tabletop. Stretch it out. Notice my thighs are level. Back in and down. Common mistakes are come too high. So that would be a common mistake, to come up tall like that. So in, stretch away, back in and down. And one nice thing to think about is if you're pushing a button with your toes on the far wall. So stretch that leg out so much as if you're pushing a button on the far wall. Great. Another thing to think about is to squeeze your glute. Squeeze through here as you stretch out. That is hard. Trust me, if you can do that, you're better than me. Squeeze through the whole leg. Good. But you don't want to upset the balance here. All of this has got to stay as still as you can. So all throughout these exercises, please don't get frustrated if you feel like you can't do them. With Pilates, it's just practice. You keep doing it, don't get too frustrated, and you will get there, and you will see and feel the results. Good. Okay, hands behind your head. Now with crunches, we're crunching and still maintaining that little arch in the back. The temptation for crunches a lot of time is to pick the hips up and crunch and tighten there whilst bananaing the back this way. I want you to keep as if you can fit a hand underneath. Crunch and down. It's a much stronger exercise. Keep the elbows wide, so we're crunching and lowering. Crunching and lowering. I'd like to do 10 of them here. This is my favourite little series at the moment. I think we did it last week. 6, 7. Try and keep your eye line between your knees. Brilliant. Bring that right leg up to tabletop and continue another 10. 2, 3. A Pilates crunch, you don't lift any higher than that. 5, 6, 7, 8. Try and keep breathing. 9, 10. Bring that one down, bring up the other one, and off we go. Another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep the elbows wide. 7, 8, 9, 10. This is where it gets hard. Both legs up. Draw in your tummy. Stay at the top. 15 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another 5, 3, 4, 5. Amazing. That is a hard exercise. So if you are finding that hard, be assured that I am as well. Roll your knees from side to side. Cool. Nice one. So, with your feet on the floor, arms down by your side, keep your chest open, stretch your fingertips down towards the toes. We're going to bring the right leg up, left leg up, right back down, left back down. Now I want that right hand across your lower tummy. Right up, left, right down, left down. Keep squeezing in. Good. Down, down. Up, up, down, down. Fantastic. How long have we got? Another 10 minutes, guys. Well done. Good. Keep breathing. And swap sides. So the leg up first. Up, up, down, down. Well done. So with this one, when you're picking up that second leg, if you have your hands across your lower tummy, sometimes you feel this lurching outwards once you pick up now that second leg. You want to try and keep that as smooth as you can, drawing in. Good. Just one more. Excellent. Both feet on the floor, hip width apart. Crunch, scooping in. Tap the outside of the ankles. Heels have to be a little bit closer towards the body than maybe they have been. Squeezing in, tapping the outside of the ankles. I heard on the body coach the other morning at the 9 o'clock PE session in the morning, Joe Wicks, his laptop ran out of battery, so I suddenly started to get a little bit paranoid because I've taught a few classes already this morning. I'm dying to get up and see how much battery I've got left, but I think it's fine. Good. 3, 2, 1. And come back down. Well done. That one's a bit heavy on the neck, to be honest. And I'm dying to, so let me just see. Am I all right? Yeah, 64%. Good. Roll your head from side to side. Good. All right, so that should have eased that off a little bit. Last few abdominal exercises. So arms are coming up in front, legs up one at a time. Now, I'm only doing this to mess with your head on a Friday morning. What I want to do is one normal dead bug, out, in, opposite arm and leg, okay? And then we're going to do a sideways one, sideways. Sideways. If it really messes with your head, just keep with the normal ones, right? Honestly, I don't want you to be flailing around and not getting much out of the exercise, but if you're good at these, you've got the option of straight up, straight, side, side. Cool. Keep your tummy as strong as you can. Keep your ribs down. Scooping your tummy, but I tell you what, you still need to breathe. Good. And side, and side. Good. Draw in that lower tummy. Stay as strong as you possibly can. Good. And after this one more. It's a bit cruel because I find these quite easy, mentally anyway. Good. Bring your knees in. Brilliant. So, how are we doing? Roll from side to side. I want you to bring your feet down on the floor. And I want you to have your hands on your ribs and your elbows out to the side. Pin your knees and your feet together and roll the knees over and pull back to the center. Roll over to the other side and pull back to the center. Now, this is not necessarily a mobility or a stretching exercise. This exercise is actually more designed for control. So you're picking up the hip while keeping the ribs down. You pull back to the center using your abs. So you pick up and you pull it back down to the center. Notice what's happening around my feet. The foot lifts up off the floor and you pull back. So you're pinning your legs, squeezing your legs together. It's a really nice exercise, both for mobility, but actually controlled mobility, because you have to use the muscles to stabilize and control things. Well done. And just for the last few, roll the head to the opposite side. Some of those exercises we've done are quite neck heavy. The last thing I want you to do is have an achy neck after this. One more each side. Lovely. Okay, coming up into what we call a mermaid position here. So the back leg is tucked round and the foot is on the knee there. So you can see that back leg is tucked around the side. I want you to try and get as central as you can with this hip coming down towards the floor there. Don't worry if it's a little bit off, but when you come over to the side, I want you not to lift it any further off. So keep that hip down. This hand is on the floor and we're coming down onto the elbow. 1, over to the side. Big, long arm. 2. It's nice to breathe with this one again. Breathe in, breathe out and over. Good. And then 3 to the other side. 1. Good. This is the slightly more awkward side. You'll feel more of a stretch. 2. Good. Drop the shoulders each time. 3. And then when we go this way again, you're coming up with the hips. The hips come up as well. 1, 2, last one, 3. Brilliant. Swing your legs back round the other way. Front foot on the thigh, the other one tucked around behind. Before you go, try and get that hip down. Now I'm noticing in my recording, I can't get that hip quite as far down, so you will be a little bit wonky, I would imagine. Down onto the elbow and over to the side. 1, the slightly easier side first. 2, last one, 3. Good. That way. 1. Open out the chest. Keep the shoulders down. 2, 3. We're picking the hips up and going that way. 1. Good. 2. And 3. Brilliant. Okay, up onto one knee, other one out in front. I think I'm going to have to change the laptop angle a little bit. So up onto one knee. Cool. Hook the hands together and stretch straight up. Work on pointing those hips completely forwards. Drop your shoulders and lunge forwards into it. So you're stretching out the front of that hip. I don't know whether any of you guys are going to be sitting more than you would normally sit, but maybe just sitting at a not such a good chair might make the hip flex at the front tighten up more so. Sit back just halfway here, so your hands come down to the floor, hopefully. Don't worry that your spine's quite curled on this one, but this leg should be straight. And I want you to point and flex the ankle. Point and flex. You'll get a really sort of intense stretch down through the back of the leg there. That would probably be a nerve stretch, your sciatic nerve. As you point and flex the ankle, you are what we call flossing that nerve. Bit weird. Good. Come back up. Bring that knee down. Other leg up. Tuck bottom under. Hook your hands together, stretch straight up and lunge forwards into it, stretching that back hip. Point everything forwards. Scoop in your tummy. Lunging forwards into it, stretching up with the arms. A lot of shoulder mobility in these sessions, which is really good as well. Good. Sit back into the heel, hands either side. Point and flex of the ankle. Good. So again, it's that weird, intense feeling of a stretch down through the back of that leg, which is a bit of a sciatic nerve stretch. Nice. So just coming, legs out straight, and we're just going to come forward. Keep yourself up tall, chest open, and lean gently forwards into it. A lot of you are going to feel that stretch through here. So while we're doing this stretch, I'm just going to take a minute to remind you, I'm going to try and do a second session. We're just brushing it out at the moment. It'd be lovely to do 2 sessions a week. Come over to the side. But other than that, I have my YouTube channel, which is just Kim Saha. There are 150 videos on there, I think. I filmed a couple of new ones, which are chair workouts or exercises. Predominantly for older people, come to the other side, or actually anyone who's recovering from, you know, this horrible breathing that you have with coronavirus. So it is something that you could do when you're feeling ill to keep yourself moving. Make sure you click subscribe on the channel. Bring your legs in, feet together, drop your knees down. But there's lots of workouts on there that you can do throughout the week, lots of stretching ones and HIIT ones as well, so as far as keeping yourself fit and that kind of thing.